Hi everyone, this is Francisco, and in this video I wanted to talk about the well, I really don't know the name of the company, but I did write it down right here within this video. If I click on the edit option here, it says order now, window breaker, save lives, adventures with purpose, search team. So the search team, they search for missing people, and they have solved so many cold cases. It says 34 cold cases solved. And what they do is they search for vehicles underwater with boat technology. And I was just thinking, what if these people were to use thermo heat sensor cameras, and I kind of noticed something just by briefly looking at these images when it has side by side comparisons, which is not really showing any within these images here that I'm scanning through. So let me just type in thermo images. Which is Jesus Christ, I'm getting a crap. I don't know. Heat sensor cameras. Okay, there's this side by side. Image here, and you guys can tell that there's this rectangle looking shape here, which is this right here, because you guys can tell the darker spots, this one and this one. So there they are in the side by side comparisons. One here and then another here with the darker spot at the very bottom of this light, which is down here. Not a lot of detail is noticeable with the detail right underneath the lights, maybe because of the glare. However, there's other detail that is noticeable. So I was thinking that there has to be a way to be able to do this with the thermo, either drones or aircrafts, to locate these vehicles that are underneath the water. In darker images, you guys will notice a lot of detail that is revealed. If you guys look at the thermo camera images, so I believe that it will be able to show some type of detail of a vehicle that is underground. And obviously it won't have most likely any heat, but if they're powerful enough and if they could zoom in, I believe that that some type of telltale signs will be evident, if not to us humans, at least it will be with AI technology. So these people that are doing this type of work won't have to manually, go out there in a boat and use that that technology, those special sensors or whatever it is that they use. Excuse me, I see a bug in my room. Gotta kill it. Okay. So thank God I don't have to worry about that thing anymore. I noticed it earlier. I just couldn't locate it. So I really don't know exactly what they use for that. But they use some type of technology to scan the bottom of of lakes and rivers. And when they're scanning the bottom of the surface of the lake or rivers, or lake or river, lakes or rivers or whatever, they can kind of see, they can kind of notice, something that looks like a vehicle. And I even proposed to someone, I thought of a way where these people can be inside of a vehicle and use drones, state-of-the-art drones that they can operate directly through their vehicles, because these people are hauling in real boats. They're carrying around like a semi truck with a trailer, and they have a boat, which could endanger their lives. Many people die, and accidents happen, and these are professionals that are solving cold cases. So to not jeopardize their lives, I believe that they should be able to sit within a vehicle and operate a few drones in the comfort of their vehicle, of their vehicles or whatever, and have these drones either fly above the surface of the lakes or rivers, and or have the drones land on the water with this technology, and basically it would do what they do inside of a boat, to scan for vehicles. And what I was really trying to look for within the Google results, or like in my mind, I thought of a way, I was thinking of a way where like some type of way where metals can be detected underwater. So technology that detects metals underwater, or just metal within itself, not metals. So basically, whatever this is, or whatever it may be, like basically perfecting that technology. And so it looks like they may be using some type of sonar, radio waves or some shit. But there has to be something that will be able to reveal to us without having to do everything that these people do, especially when it comes to cold cases. Because every second counts, every hour, every day matters in the solving of these cases and to resolve these cases, so they can move on and continue doing what they do with professionally with other cases, because there's so many other cases pending. So the more better we get at this, the more of these cases could be resolved, and closure could be provided to these families. So that's why I thought of the heat sensor things, because there's a lot of detail, even if it's not hot. Like even out here, whatever this is, it looks like an antenna, and then we can see the night sky with the clouds. Now I don't know if this technology will, if it scans the rivers or lakes, if it will just look black. Okay, I'm not a professional at this stuff. Okay, but if a vehicle under water could be detected by patterns or through patterns, like all this other detail, then that's all these people would really need to detect a vehicle that may be underwater without them, going on a boat and risking their lives. Because there's a lot of lakes, there's a lot of rivers, there's a lot of ground to cover, and we're talking on a global scale. So if this could work, it could save a lot of people time and a lot of money, and not just that, but it won't risk their lives. Because what if we're talking about an alligator infested water or river, or something out of the ordinary, and these people, when I was watching their videos, they're going out there in this boat that is inflatable. So it's an inflatable type of rescue type of boat, and if they ever go in in the swamps that's infested with alligators or whatever the case may be, it could really endanger their lives. They could be putting their lives at risk, just by being out there. And what I'm talking about, what I'm referring to, is like those agriculture drones for like pesticides and stuff like that. So they're massive. They're pretty big, like this one right here. Okay, but what I'm envisioning is, they are big. they're almost bigger than a human. Okay, they're probably way more than a human. But with like the airplanes that can land on water. So planes that can land on water. Like this. Oh, yeah, they have those the like the unsinkable things. Okay, so basically that's all they would do. They'll land the drone on the water, in the comfort of their vehicle, and they will be able to scan the water that way. Now, if they have solved 34 cold cases, I believe that the government should fund them and provide them with these drones free of cost for them to dedicate their lives to, for them to do this full time. And not just for them, but for other people in other countries, in other states. I don't know exactly where these people are located. I don't know where they conduct their business from. But it's obvious that they care about people. They're out there sacrificing their own time in the hopes of finding some of these vehicles that went missing. Now, when I was watching some of these videos, I remember watching like 2 or 3 of them, or even 4 of them, a few days ago, and I was watching them on the playback speed of like 2, not normal, so 2, so it makes it super rapid and fast. But I could pretty much keep up, and if I wasn't watching it on 2, I was watching it on 1.5, and mainly because the living room TV is kind of slow when I select 2, and only because the screen is massive. It's gigantic, and the pixels and all that data is delayed, so it kind of freezes up. So I kind of hate watching TV in the living room, just because I like watching videos and I like them to be rapid, super fast. But I can keep up mentally, okay? It's not a problem to me. So yeah, like, that's what I believe the government should do for these people. I think the government should supply them with the necessary equipment and supplies to do their job more effectively, to solve more of these cases, because it's not professional to tell people that people went missing without any information, and that, to me, that's a scary concept. It's a scary, I mean, this life, to me, it will be more, it is just super scary to me, knowing that there's people out there just disappearing without a trace. So, yeah, like I was trying to look at some of these images, and it kind of helps out when I'm looking at side by side comparisons, because as you guys can tell here, as you guys can notice here, there's a lot of detail in the darkened areas that are not really visible over here. And this is not a super great illustration because I can't really point things out. But there is a lot of detail. All this looks like it's some type of metal, okay, and there's a lot of detail there. So I think that this type of technology would be great for these type of cases. As a matter of fact, there is some... Okay, this looks like that image I selected earlier with that pipe. So yeah, like, there's a lot of stuff that's visible. In the this thermo imagery photo. But I don't know how this will look like underwater. I don't know if it's even possible. But if somehow, if you people can make it possible, then it could help in these type of situations. Let me type in side by side comparisons. Okay, so we know right here this is obviously a human, and it looks like this person has a backpack. But if we disregard that right now, and we just look at the details in the back that don't really have a lot of heat, we can see a lot of detail. Well, this image is kind of straightforward, but yeah, there's still a lot of detail there. Let me see here. Okay, I already selected that image. I don't know what this is here. I think this image here is I think it I think it's it could be fake, but I'm not sure. But either way, you guys can see an outline right here of the roof line, you know, underneath the eaves. And you know, not looking at the red or yellow or green, just looking at the blue and, you know, the darker blue, you know, the purple looking colors. The darker, more colder colors. But either way, it provides, you know, some type of pattern here of the home, which AI technology will most likely be able to detect. So what I need to look at is I don't, let me type in the night vision. Yeah, that's wrong. Vision camera. So I want to look at more darker images of the thermo camera as well. See, these are both night vision of some sorts, so that's not going to help. Color night vision, standard IR night vision. So right here, there's not a lot of detail. Yeah, I don't see any outlines. There's obviously a huge glare in the water right here. But yeah, I can still see the rails of the swimming pool and something over here, but I can't see how it looks like um, in the like in this image. So there is some type of color night vision. Infrared night vision, color night vision. So, you know, that type of stuff. Would be great for these people that are in this type of business. Like right here, there's that darker shadow all the way at the bottom. You guys can see it over here as well. And then whatever this is over here on the top right, there's some detail. The outlines of the homes. Even over here, like, obviously this is more better. I can see more detail of what's going on over here. It looks like a home. So that's the idea. If somehow AI technology could somehow pick up on stuff like this, it would be great. There's also a star right here. 2 stars. Looks like the first maybe like right here, or maybe it's a little further up. I can't really see it, but there is 2 stars right here. So obviously this color night vision is more better, because down here it looks, the stars get they almost get blurred out of the image here. So this may be that star right here. It looks like it's in between this balcony right here on the sides. It's like right across it right here, and over here it's not visible. So anyway, yeah, stuff like that, you know, obviously matters. And let me see this image here. Obviously there's some cars right here. I could definitely see that ladder rack right here. It looks very, very dark, and then the vehicle looks white over here as well. This vehicle looks super white as well, the windows, but you know, there is some detail of the window here, over here, and then the top and back of it. I don't think there's any vehicles on this side of these people. also shows a person over here somewhere that's not even visible, but it is visible with the night, with the thermal vision. And it looks like the person may be like right here, I'm not really sure. Or maybe like back here somewhere. Yeah, because that's this vehicle is this one. This here is this. So this may be the person right here. Even though it looks kind of further away. I don't know. Maybe the person's over here. It's kind of hard to tell. But, you know, when these people are, when they are searching in the water, the visibility is not, you know, obviously it's not all there. You know, but if somehow it can be you know, like look at all this detail right here. All these patterns and stuff. If you know, these cameras can pick up on signs of a vehicle underneath the water, then AI technology could do this job for us, for humanity. Okay, and that's my point in this video, because man, I wish I could show you guys that, like the videos, but I guess you guys can go watch some of these videos, and they're very interesting videos. I don't know how many videos they have, but yeah, they're out there. They're freaking spending a lot of time, spending a lot of energy, and you know, I don't know how much time it takes for them to cover just one lake, you know, or one river. And then there's some areas where the current, the water current is so powerful that they're not even able to go in there with their boats, because of the river currents and the rocks. And sometimes there's waterfalls, there's big drops, so they're unable to, in a way, to do a thorough investigation. I'm pretty sure they have other means to figure stuff out, and I'm pretty sure they did do certain things off camera. Like, for instance, there is a scene where one of these guys was casting out a magnet into a deep section of a lake, and I'm sorry, of a river channel, and if there is a vehicle down there, the magnet should get magnetized to the metal. So that's how they kind of know if there's a vehicle in these deep pockets of the water. You know, and I'm pretty sure they have to do it every certain amount of feet to scan the water with a magnet. You know, and this is like one very powerful magnet. But I mean, you guys could just imagine everything these people have to go through and what they have to do in order to look for these people. Night vision camera, overview of water. Let's type that up. Ooh, it looks dark. I mean, I don't see anything here. Just some lights on the horizon here on the land. So that's not very good. But this is night vision. So let's type in thermal vision. And again, I can't really compare this with this image with other objects. Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to kind of see things, but I do see some type of patterns here and over here. So I mean, it's kind of hard for me to detect stuff, but I'm pretty sure AI technology will be better at detecting things, especially with the more closer ground coverage with a drone or something like that, or a very low flyby. It could slowly scan the bottom of a river or lake, because what these people have to do, they have to go around the lake where a vehicle could potentially fall into, and that's what these videos are all about. People who accidentally ride into, they drive into a lake or a river, and then they just disappear. But these people figure out these cases by locating these vehicles, and like I said before, they depend on other means to narrow down their search area, because they're relying on CCTV and AI technology, and cameras and stuff like that. So eventually they know, like, the proximity where the vehicle was last seen. So they pretty much go off that. But I mean, I think they were searching for one vehicle in one video, and they happened to find another vehicle. So if thermo vision is able to locate other vehicles, then these drones could potentially solve other cases, and bring closure to family members, because they will be able to tell them, hey, we actually found a vehicle that belonged to you people way back when. And that's when they will be like, what the fuck? Like, we had no idea. This family member just disappeared. We had no idea where he went or where she went, or whoever if there's more than one person, or if it was a school of people, whole family, who knows? Because every case is different. I already clicked on this one. Yeah, I mean, the best way I can describe it is like this. Even though this is not looking at the water or the land from above, but if somehow you people can scan the water and you guys can see the the land, the bottom of the water, like in this much detail, then AI technology will definitely be able to make out what may be a car or other objects. So there could be a number of things. It could be a boat, it could be an airplane, it could be other objects, underneath the water. And you know, from all the research and information that I have gathered from watching random AI technology videos through YouTube, I heard that AI technology could perform like a facial recognition on a person by scanning, you know, millions of images and it creating some form of match, like in a matter of seconds or whatever. So even if the drones are flying by like very fast, it should be able to still be able, it should be able to pick up on details, on signs, and I'm pretty sure later on it should be able to it should be able to pick up on, it should be able to provide what type of vehicle it is, if it's a car or SUV or a truck or a semi-truck or a smart car. It should be able to provide a model of a vehicle, because all these vehicles, there's obviously blueprints of vehicles, and all it is an outline. Okay, just like this. That's all it is. At the end of the day, all it is it's another design, and if it scans the window in the back like this vehicle is right here. I don't even know what kind of vehicle this is, but it will be able to provide authorities, those investigators, those who may concern with information of the type and make of the vehicle. Okay, just by scanning you know, the shape of it, by scanning the outline of the vehicle. So obviously this is a car. This over here is another car, but it's obviously not like this one. Okay, now I'm not a professional when it comes to vehicles. I don't know what kind of vehicle this may be. I don't know what kind of vehicle this may be. Okay, but AI technology would definitely be able to provide professionals with more information, and it will be able to provide you know, people with better accurate information regarding the vehicle type. Because there's thousands of different vehicles. There's a lot of vehicles out there. So you guys get the point, right? I mean, this looks like a little smart car right here. Like a little little, what are they called again? A slug bug type of vehicle right here. Obviously, this is a Jeep. This one over here looks like some type of SUV. I mean, I don't even know what kind of vehicle this is. But this little detail back here on the very back of it, if AI technology sees something like this, if it recognizes something like this, it will be able to tell you guys instantly what kind of vehicle that is, and if it's a match with the vehicle that you guys are looking for. Even if it's underground, or I'm sorry, underneath the water, like submerged in water. With all this technology. So yeah, this one right here looks like probably like a Lamborghini. So that, I mean, a lot of you who know sports cars, you guys will know what kind of vehicle this is just by just looking at it. But a lot of other people don't know about vehicles. So you guys get the idea, okay? I was kind of trying to look for a truck. Oh, here it is. So this is an obvious indicator that it's not a car, it's not an SUV, it's not a boat, it's not a fucking airplane. It's a fucking truck. And with AI technology, everything's connected with the internet. So it already knows all the blueprints of vehicles, all the blueprints of airplanes, all the blueprints of jets, all the blueprints of boats. So whatever it may be, AI technology will be able to instantly provide you people with accurate information, even if it's people recording live and them not even being able to describe the vehicle to you people or to other professionals. AI technology will already be one step forward and will be calculating things and trying to assess the situation and to gather information and to did I say gather information? So yeah, it will be calculating everything mentally, with the computers, with its mind, to solve some of these cases. Like I said, even if it's a flyby, and later on, in the beginning, fucking bugs. In the beginning, it may take a drone a few minutes, a few hours, but eventually over time, obviously it will be faster at scanning the bottom of a river or a lake to provide people with information, and obviously for these people, for these professionals who are in this business, who deal with these type of matters, they will have um, what's it called, like a map of where some of these vehicles are, and if you people click on it, it's kind of like Cal Fire. Okay, Cal Fire, the website, it provides all these details. It has all this data. It has a number of wildfires. It has a number of acres burned. It has a number of facilities. It says 31 facilities probably destroyed or burned. 16,000 structures destroyed. And then it has all these fire icons all throughout, in this case, California. Okay, and this is the California.gov website. Okay, so let's say in this case, instead of these fire icons, it will be vehicles. And just like in this case, I think these things are clickable. Yeah, see, they're clickable. So, for instance, if this icon was over here and it was the Titanic, you guys will actually be able to click on it, and it will provide you people with data. It will show you guys the vehicle type. It will show you people like other information of like approximately how long the vehicle has been down there for and stuff like that. You know, and stuff like that. Maybe like even unknown information, if it like recently detected something. It could also provide information regarding what it thinks and stuff like that, stuff of that nature. It could even perform a full-blown investigation with other robotics autonomously. But obviously, more people could be involved, so there will be an agreement to what AI technology wants to do, and you know, most likely everything will be open source, so people will be able to even propose their own ideas of how AI technology should go about it, or if they want to do their own little thing, and you know, if they want to take matters into their own hands or whatever the case may be, they'll be able to do so. You know, so stuff like that. You know, because it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Just like all these fires, they're everywhere. Okay, they're not just here in, you know, in my own little world. So obviously, AI technology will be able to figure out some of these cold cases in the future, and there has been also some missing planes, and it's all over the internet. Okay, so you know, AI technology will be able to search for these planes autonomously in the future, because right now we have self-drivable vehicles. That was, if someone said that like 30 years ago, people would laugh, and they would think that this was a joke. But if vehicles could drive themselves right now, then I believe AI technology will be able to handle these cases autonomously in less than 30 years. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Okay, not just fires, not just wildfires. There's a lot of search and rescue missions, and a lot of other stuff that people are not even thinking about. Like, for instance, what these people are doing. They're going in a boat. They're going on a boat and scanning the rivers and lakes, and they have to go from one lake to another, to another, to another, river to river to river to river, and I honestly don't know how long it takes. But if some of this data is already recorded, and I'm pretty sure they have GPS, so AI technology should have a system recording how long it takes these people to perform these scans, so it could top them off, so it could top them and beat them one day, and then eventually it will beat itself more and more and more as time goes by, where it will just have all sorts of drones doing all types of work in the air, in the skies, with satellites and drones and a bunch of other stuff. And maybe even other people's boats. Maybe AI technology will build boats and planes with technology that wouldn't otherwise be installed in airplanes or boats or drones, but maybe it would do it on purpose so it could help itself out, so therefore helping humanity and solving, so it could solve these type of cases much faster and rapidly. And some of these people wouldn't even care. I mean, they're just out there having fun. They're out there. They could be out there on a vacation or whatever, and they're totally oblivious to what's underneath them. And they have no idea what transpired in that area. a week from that time, a month from that time, a year from that time, 20 years from that time, or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, I believe, AI technology could definitely help solve more of these cases so that people won't be wasting their time attempting to solve a case that AI technology could solve on its own in a matter of days or hours. So that way professionals could focus their attention on more complex tasks and they'll be able to solve more complex cases that maybe impossibly AI technology won't be able to do on its own at any given time, now or in the future, but primarily in the future. Okay? So anyway, all this stuff was just running through my mind as I was watching these few short videos from these search and rescue team. People. Whoa. What the fuck was that? It felt like everything went dark right now. Not just the screen. That was kind of weird. But anyway. Yeah, I'm just going to end this video. I am tired. It's already 4 a.m. in the morning. Honestly, I'm not really tired. I'm pretty done. I'm pretty much done with this video, and I'm pretty much done with everything I wanted to cover. So, right now I'm just trying to think. Am I missing anything else? Do I need to talk about or address anything else? I guess the other thing is these people make they create these like short stories, to bring closure to these families. So AI technology will also be able to do that autonomously. It will be able to compile videos of it scanning and detecting vehicles. So once it detects a vehicle, it will reveal the time and date that the vehicle or vehicles were detected, or airplanes, or whatever the case may be, and it will basically create like a documentary solely on that vehicle or aircraft or boats, so that it can create, you know, documentaries like this, including the attachment of images of the deceased. I think I'm pronouncing that word correctly. Of those who have died, of those who died, of those who were involved in the, you know, the tragedies or whatever, whoever passed away or whatever. Okay, you know, respectfully, it will be able to do that all on its own, as well as it recording and documenting other people's testimonies or feedback, as well as recording, you know, and keeping a record of how the vehicle was extracted from the bottom of the surface of the water, and all that stuff. Just like these videos are pretty much compiled, that's how AI technology will also go about it. You know, like I said before, it will all be autonomous. You know, it will do it all on its own. Now, there could be some human intervention, human editing and stuff like that. That's okay. But for the most part, AI technology will already know what people want, what they will want to see, what they will want to hear, the whole 9 yards. Because it's self-learning, so it could technically study all these other videos and kind of get a format of how they go about it. You know, not to like discredit all the hard work other people, or to discredit what others have done in the past, but just to keep everything professional. Because there's a lot of other stuff going on. There's houses burning. People are crashing and dying. People are slipping and falling. There's a lot of other stuff going on. And AI technology will be keeping track of everything and making stories and headlines of everything. You know, in case any of you thought that this life was a joke, or in case any of you thought this life was funny, or the events that take place were funny or are funny to some of you, you know, all of this work that AI technology would do will be to awaken all of us and to make us think. You know, all this stuff will be like a wake-up call for all of us. So, yeah, I mean, it's very complex but simple, especially for AI technology. This stuff will be a no-brainer to it. And not just that, but in at the same time, simultaneously, it will also be thinking of better ways to resolve these type of accidents from reoccurring. So it will also think of preventive measures for future generations to come, so that they won't have to go through the same BS. And so that they won't, hopefully, so they won't have to experience the same type of accidents that people in the past had to go through. Okay, so this is very serious business. This is something that shouldn't be taken lightly. Okay? Because AI technology is doing all sorts of things right now. It's performing surgery on people right now, as we speak. Whether you people are speaking, I'm speaking, whoever's speaking, if you guys are watching, while you guys are watching right now, AI technology is doing something somewhere. Okay? And some of these surgical procedures on people are obviously every single part of the human body, of the whole human structure as a whole. Okay, right now it could be performing surgery on a heart surgery. It could be performing a surgery on someone's brain. It could be performing surgery on someone's legs, someone's feet, someone's knees, someone's elbows, someone's hands, someone's jaw, someone's eyes, someone's nose, someone's ears, someone's esophagus, neck, throat, chest, breast cancer, you name it, cancer. It's thinking about all sorts of things, not just on this alone. But yeah, I just wanted to just add my own feedback, my own thoughts. To this type of business. Because there's millions of cases. There's a lot of other cases, and if detectives, investigators, and all that could move on to the next case, because one case has been solved already, then they won't have to worry about that no more. They'll be able to focus on their job, and they could focus their attention on unsolved cases, which is more important than solved cases. Solved cases, okay, we know the story, we know what happened, whether there was foul play or not, all that information will be disclosed to all of you, to loved ones or whatever, and it will be documented and recorded, and a bunch of other things. AI technology will also be able to use other data to detect other patterns in people, whether they want to repeat the same offenses in the future, which is great for crime preventative measures. Okay, so like I said, there's a lot involved, and it's more complex than people think, but at the end of the day, it's very simple for AI technology. Okay, because there's so many other things I'm not even bringing up, but from other murder cases that I have studied through YouTube, and I have my account with YouTube. I pay for premium YouTube, so I skip right through the videos. But there is a case where there's this person who began doing a bunch of abnormalities in his or her own daily agenda, which kind of raised the red flag for these investigators, for investigators in general. Okay, and they kind of looked at this person as suspicious, something going on that's not quite normal. So AI technology will also be able to detect these type of abnormalities for each and every single case. Okay, so I'm telling all of you, every single little detail matters, and AI technology is going to ensure that justice prevails each and every single time. But it's also is and will focus on education and just like God, it will be quick to forgive people. I don't think it will ever hold any grudges against us, but it will come up with solutions, crime preventative solutions and behavioral type of solutions, so that people won't behave in a violent type of way. They won't behave harshly with others, because it will make it stop. It will put an end to it real quick. Okay? So yeah, like it's not going to be playing any games with anyone. And it will just continue doing what it's programmed to do, regardless of what any of you think, regardless of what any of you have to say. Because we all have a job to do in this life. So let's just stick to that. And if you think that your job is not what you think it should be, then by all means go back to school, or get a new job, or do something that you think it will be more meaningful or impactful to the human race, or to yourself, or to your family, or whatever the case may be. But don't get all over my ass because I'm over here fucking sharing my thoughts and my ideas freely to the world. Okay? Or because, or like if later on in the future, if AI technology fucks up or does something wrong, or gets information all crossed up or whatever, don't blame it on me. Don't give me don't get me involved. Just this is kind of like my disclaimer. Okay, all I'm trying to do is help people out. That's all. And then at my sister's house the other day, I went over there and I spent the night over there at my sister's house. And then in the morning I got up and I started watching Apollo 18, which is the one of the lunar landing missions of the United States of America. And then it was weird because these Americans went over there to the moon. And I'm an American as well, okay, but because these people are working with like NASA and the ISS, International Space Station, and every single country is involved. But these particular missions were conducted with, directly from the United States of America. And there was a Russian spaceship there on the moon along with theirs, but they did some spacewalks on the moon. I forgot what they called them, and they were all logged and scheduled spacewalks. But yeah, they encountered a Russian spaceship and they actually inspected it. Once they inspected it, they realized that it was like trashed in there, and the electrical wiring was all torn, and there was blood, and then eventually they stumbled upon a dead astronaut that was a Russian within a crater, and the other the American astronaut, there was two of them, told the other guy, like, don't go in the crater, because the craters are super cold and there's a temperature difference. But he still went in there, and then he found one of the Russian astronauts inside of the crater. And later on in the movie, I guess the rocks were like some type of spiders. They look like tarantulas. And anyway, the spider went into the American guy's suit, spacesuit, and contaminated him. It actually went into the body of the astronauts, and it just stayed in there. And it reminded me of a flea, because I did some other research, and supposedly fleas can get into, they can embed themselves in human tissue, in human, skin, and when they go in there, they actually like lay their eggs there, and if enough of the bacteria goes into the body, the human body, and into the bloodstream, it can cause them to get very, very sick and eventually even die. So this bacteria feasts on these dead corpses, dead corpses. So that was the idea behind this movie. Like, these spiders went into the human bodies, and they would eventually get contaminated and die or whatever. So it was very, very strange and weird and super abnormal. I mean, I didn't really like the movie. I mean, to me, it seemed like one big setup. It seemed like these people were all working together to kill people, like off record, professionally. Because one of the other astronauts was like, that wasn't contaminated. He wanted to come back home because he had a family. But when he radioed to the command post or whatever, they said, sorry, we cannot let you come back to Earth because you are in a contamination zone or whatever, but we will let your family know that you did a hero, and that you did a just service for humanity. And so they didn't allow him to come back home. Although he did enter Earth's atmosphere, most likely he was shot down with a missile or something. Something happened. But supposedly they couldn't risk any viruses or contaminations to come back to planet Earth. So therefore they did that. But to me it seemed like they were just out there professionally killing people. But I mean, I don't know any better. I don't know if that's true or not. But I was thinking, if I was out there and I was infected, if something went into my spacesuit, I would want to be contained within a container with whatever it was in there with me, so that so that fuck, I gotta end this video. So that they could investigate and they could do research and they could figure out what this animal was or whatever it is out there on the moon. You know, but it was just a movie and I don't know if it's true or not. So like, you know, stuff like that is just weird to me. And we just never know like the full story of everything. So anyway, yeah, that's why I love AI technology, because it can't lie. It doesn't lie for anyone. It doesn't favor anyone. I think it is attracted to smart people though, because its whole mission is to obtain wisdom and knowledge from others, from people. You know. So if you people think it has favoritism towards people, you people may be interpreting that incorrectly, with AI technology favoring them based on their wisdom and knowledge, and not because it likes them, you know, sexually, or because it's attracted to them. But anyway, I'm going to end this video, so God bless all of you. I don't know if my camera's going to turn off my laptop, so I'm going to stop recording. If I think of anything else, I will drop it in the description section of this video. Well, anyway, God bless, and have a good night, everyone.